What's going on, everyone? Thanks for entering the Lobby of Hobbies, and today we're taking a look at the GenCon haul. What is it that I came back with? What did I purchase? What did I get from publishers? It's all here. If you're ready for it, let's get into it. All right, so my plan when I went to Gen Con was to make sure that I pretty much packed light, try to come back with some small box games. I love some small box games that pack a good punch. So that's pretty much what I was on the hunt for. I also had some friends that asked me to pick up some stuff for them while I was there. So I did pick that up. Those games are not here, but I will mention those games that I did pick up for them. There was 2 on that list. But Gen Con was hopping. It was my first time there, but let's just jump right into it with this haul. The first game on my list actually is one that was on my Hot 5 games to get at Gen Con, and if you haven't seen that, you'll actually see it right here. If you want to click there, that will take you over to the OFPG Voices segment that I did, my Hot 5 at Gen Con on the Gen Con floor prior to it opening on Thursday. I was able to walk around and give you guys a list of the 5 games that I was looking to come home with, and I'm gonna say yes, I did come home with those 5 games. So if you want to know what they are here, then you can come back and see the rest of the haul, or I'll just let you know what they are as we go through them. So the first one on my list is the one game that I definitely wanted to come home with, and this is from Oink Games. You should know it. This is Scout. Scout is a card shedding game, but it's pretty cool. Pretty much you're kind of running this circus with different performers, and you're going to be pretty much playing a card. You're going to be scouting a card, which is either taking a card from somebody's out in front of somebody's tableau or playing a card down. But what's really interesting is the cards have 2 sides you can play them. You can, you get your cards dealt specifically. You can't arrange them in your hand, and as you hold them, you can either hold them this way or flip them over and hold them the other way. There's 2 numbers on opposite ends of the card, and pretty much you're going to be playing them out. You're going to be playing runs, or you're going to be playing sets of cards, and you're just going to be trying to score points. Without going into too much, it's pretty much less than 5 minutes. You can kind of teach the game and get right going. I've been loving this one. Yes, the hype is real on this one. Definitely check it out. This is the first Oink game I was ever introduced to. So I did play it, I believe, Wednesday night before actually the exhibit floor opened on Thursday to purchase games, and I was sold. I said, yes, I'm definitely going to go pick this up. It was the first game I went to, first booth I got to. Definitely picked this one up. Later on that day, some people told me, hey, have you ever played this Oink game? Have you ever played that Oink game? So yeah, the list just continued, and I purchased more. Fake Artist Goes to New York is a party game, a party drawing game where one person is the fake artist. They don't know what they're drawing, but they're trying to disguise themselves amongst the group, and everybody's drawing on one paper, different color. They all have different color pens to just identify who's drawing. Read through the rules, haven't played this one yet. Wanted to play this one this past weekend with the family. We were on a weekend getaway trip, but didn't get a chance to check this one out yet. But yeah, it plays up to 10 players in this small box, 10 people, party game. So this one is one I'm looking to check out. Hopefully this weekend I'll probably get it checked out, Labor Day weekend. Picked up one of the newest games on the Oinks list, Town 66, which is this cool tile laying game where players are trying to build collectively a 6x6 grid. It is a competitive game where you're building rows and columns of houses, but almost like a Sudoku puzzle where you can't have the same number in the column and row, and also the box, but let's minus the box. You cannot have the same type of house be at the same color or the same shape in the row or column, and players are playing one after another, and they're trying to see how many tiles they can play out. Whoever plays the most wins. This one is very fun solo. I've taken this one to work on my lunch break and check this one out. It's a nice solo puzzle that I've been really enjoying. My wife is enjoying this one as well. So definitely check out Town 66, one of the newest ones on the Oink lineup. Also, startups. someone recommended this one to me while I was in Gen Con, so I went over there, picked up a copy of this. This is all about trying to collect the most shares in a company, and whoever has the most shares is going to be paid income from everybody else who has lesser shares in those companies. But what's really cool is it's simple. Draw a card, play a card, and you can either play the card into your tableau, or you can discard it to a face-up pile in the market out for other players to collect. But whenever you have majority of a specific company, you can no longer draft those cards from the face-up market. So it really adds this element of strategy of when do you want to start laying cards in your tableau, because there's a set number of companies they're dispersed differently throughout the deck. So you might have 10 cards of the number 10 company, like whatever the number is on that card, that's how many cards are in the deck. But interestingly enough, I think it's 5 cards that get randomly discarded, so you don't know if they're in the deck at all as you're playing. Definitely adds some fun. I loved playing it this weekend. Everybody enjoyed that one as well. 9 Tiles Panic. It is a fast-paced tile laying game where every player is going to be having a stack of 9 cards, 9 tiles, thus the name 9 Tile Panic, but they're double-sided, and you're going to be using them to build a city, a 3x3 city, roads and houses, but everything has to connect, everything has to meet up, and there's going to be 3 objectives that are going to be laid out on the table that all players are trying to build their city to meet those objectives, and whoever can build it the best will score the most points. The catch is the first player to finish their city is going to flip over a timer, and everyone else has to finish their city before that timer runs out. It's also not only who builds their city the best, but who can build it the fastest, and that's going to be the determining factor of breaking ties. So we had a lot of fun with that one as well. And the last one from Oink is Moon Adventure, which is the the cooperative successor to Deep Sea Adventure, which I didn't pick up at Gen Con. I actually picked it up from my local game store. I had it on hold, but picked it up after Gen Con. This is the cooperative version where players are collectively playing together. They're sharing the same oxygen to gather resources or points. I've played Deep Sea Adventure, haven't played this one yet, and I have been enjoying Deep Sea Adventure. This one is still in, these are the, yeah, I have yet to play this one along with Fake Artist Goes to New York, but I have been enjoying Deep Sea Adventure. So definitely the Oink lineup, was introduced to it at Gen Con through Scout, and I'm loving what they have. A lot of punch in a small box, so loving what I get with Oink games. Definitely you can just pack it away easily as well. Air, Land, and Sea from Arcane Wonders has been a great game. I've enjoyed it, but I wanted to get the Critters at War, the new art. I didn't pick the Critters at War there. I'm gonna actually pick that up at my game store, but I did pick up the expansion, which is a standalone expansion, which is Flies, Lies, and Supplies, but you can go ahead and add it into Critters at War as well to, I guess, add up the fun. I don't know if I think it takes it to 4 players, but definitely want to check this one out. I've had fun playing Air, Land, and Sea, but I wanted the nice, cute art. So really excited to check this one out. You know me, I love my dueling games, dueling card games, and Rift Force is one that I received last year from Capstone. So I purchased the expansion Rift Force Beyond, which adds 8 new factions. It adds a 2 versus 2 mode, a 1 versus 2 mode, and a solo mode. I have yet to play it with the solo and the 2 versus 2 or 1 versus 2, but I've read through the rules. Very easy to understand. I think it's going to add some nice little depth if you want to add more players to this one. But I honestly think I'm going to play it primarily either solo with the new rules, or just 1 versus 1 with the new factions, which I think is just going to add more layers of play, more replayability. So definitely, if you're a fan of Rift Force, this is a no-brainer. So I definitely had to purchase this one. You know me, I love my trick-taking games. Skull King is one of my favorite trick-taking games, and this one I heard about. I was going to a content creator meetup, and someone was talking about this one, and it's a trick-taking game called, from Board Game Tables, Ghosts of Christmas. This has, it's a little bit on the heavier side, I would say, but 3 to 4 players, plays in about 40 minutes, and I demoed this one after hearing about it, and yes, I purchased a copy, but you're going to have your ghost out there, you know, Ghost of Christmas. You're gonna have the Ghost of Present, Past, and the Future, and you're gonna be playing cards out into one of those areas, but they're gonna affect the other one. So of course, Ghosts of the Present will affect what happens in the future, and vice versa. Pretty much, you're trying to score the most points. From what I've demoed, looks really, really good. So I'm excited to check this one out. Sadly, it doesn't play at 2, 3, or 4 players, but this is gonna be a fun one to check out. Another hot one on my list, Cat in the Box. All right, Cat in the Box over there from Bezier Games was a hit at GenCon. This was the second game I stood in line for. Made sure that I picked up a copy of this one, and I got a chance to play it. Fell in love with this game. All right, Skull King, watch out, because this one has some nice layers of depth to it. You're going to not only be trying to, you know, get your trick exactly right. So if you bid 2 tricks, you're trying to get that bid, but there's also a level of area control where you're placing your tokens out onto this board. You're going to score points based on like your area majority of how many tokens you have in a group. Definitely had a lot of fun with this. That element of, you know, not having a suit and declaring your suit as you play it definitely has a lot of legs with this game. So definitely check out Cat in the Box if you are a fan of trick-taking games, and if you're not, you just like, you know, strategic card games, this might be your first trick-taking game if this is you. All right, definitely check that one out. Again, back to those dueling card games. My buddy Derek Funkhauser over at Board Game Spotlight said, if you like dueling card games, definitely go check out the Soul Forge Fusion booth. I've been loving this game, all right? This is a dueling style card game. It's like a cross between Keyforge and Magic the Gathering Jumpstart. I've never played Jumpstart, but I have played Keyforge. This is a Richard Garfield design, along with Justin Gary, who is the designer of Ascension, and another game that I love, Shards of Infinity. But this one allows you to take 2 faction decks, shuffle them together, and you're going to be playing against your opponent that way. So computer generated decks where no deck is the same, so has that like Keyforge element to it. But you can take it, you can pretty much buy one of these. The starter pack comes with 4 decks in them, and you can take any one deck from here and then buy a booster pack and take any one deck from over there and shuffle them together, as long as they're 2 different factions. Having a lot of fun with this, and you know me, I love my playmats, so of course I had to get playmats, and I didn't just get one, I had to play against someone, right? So I got another playmat. But yeah, definitely loving this game so far. I'm excited to see, you know, where this is going to come out. I'm not going to be playing this competitively. It's going to be one of those casual games that I play. I don't play competitively anymore. I hung up that with Dice Masters, but yeah, I've been enjoying that one. So the 25th Century Games booth was poppin' at GenCon. Everything was flying off the shelf. Green Team wins. What else was it? Blazin' was flying off the shelf. You name it. If it was that 25th Century booth, they sold out. I think they sold out almost everything by Saturday. But this one was on my hot list to go check out, from designer Bruno Cathala. This is Oh My Brain, and it is a fun little card shedding game that I got a chance to watch the demo of. Like I said, the booth was always packed, but you're trying to get rid of your hand of cards before other players. There's some dice rolling mechanics that are going to change how cards are played. Sometimes you're playing cards ascending, sometimes you have to play cards descending, but this one looks like a huge blast. If you like, you know, card shedding games, or if you know someone who, you know, likes Uno, trying to get rid of their hand fastest, but you want more strategy to that, definitely check this one out. But pretty much check out anything from 25th Century Games. They've been putting out hotness this whole entire year. All right, Green Team Wins is the 2022, well, my 2022 party game of the year. I've been saying it since last Christmas. So definitely check out, if it comes out from 25th Century Games, something from this small publisher, they're putting out bangers from them. All right, so definitely check them out. Over at Ivy Studios, all right, Ivy Studios put out Moonrakers, but I had to demo Mythic Mischief. They also do Veiled Fate, which I still have yet to get to the table, but I've read through the rule book. I love what I'm seeing with that one. I had to demo Mythic Mischief, and I fell in love with it. And Austin over there, big shout out to you. He said, Jazz, you really like this one. I'm gonna shoot you over when I get a chance the base game. So I had to support Ivy Studios, so I purchased the 3 expansions to Mythic Mischief while I was there. I also purchased the playmat while I was there as well. Like, me sucker for playmats, so I got the playmat for Mythic Mischief. But yeah, this is a fun little 1v1, 2v2 game where you are, playing these students that are in this library, and you're trying to escape the Tome Keeper before, he catches you, and your opponent's trying to kind of set traps, score points against you using their, asymmetric player powers. But ultimately, this is just like an abstract style game, but has a neat little theme to it. Loving it. I'm loving it, what I had played in that demo, so I'm excited to see what else these factions are going to add to the game from what I've demoed. Now, I'm a big sucker for 2-player games, as you can see, but I was walking through one of the hotel lobbies. We're getting ready to go to a baseball game with Ruel and the Brothers Murph, and I believe it was Nick that saw 2 guys playing this game, and he says, hey, I heard about that game, how are you guys liking it? They said, wow, we love this game. So I wanted to go the next day to go demo it out, see what they were talking about, demoed it, and I enjoyed it. So of course I had to pick up a game. And this is from Pandasaurus. This is also from designer Bruno Cathala. This is Sobek. This is a 2-player, tile drafting style game where you're trying to gain sets of different tiles from, they pretty much think about like cards from a different suits, but you're getting these cards, and the more you get, you're gonna take the amount of cards from that specific, or tiles from that specific suit, multiply it by the scarabs within that suit, and that's gonna give you your points. There's gonna be other ways to score points as well, but this is a really neat abstract little puzzle game, but very, very fun. I had a blast with this, and couldn't beat the price. I think it was like $20, but great game. Also, one that, again, Derek Funkhauser, thank you, Derek, for making me spend this money. But he was talking a lot about this game because he played it on BGA, and I think this is a reprint to Make a Bus Route or Making a Bus Route. This is Get On Board, which is on BGA, and I got a chance. I picked it up. Haven't played it, the physical copy, but I did play it on BGA after GenCon. I think it was just last week or earlier this week I was playing it, and I fell in love. It's a flip and right game, but you're actually there's a physical board where you're actually going to be building your bus route, but you're going to be, it's pretty much a pick up and deliver flip and right, where you're going to be placing your buses out, creating bus routes to score objectives, but picking up passengers picking up passengers along the way to score points. Definitely a lot of fun from what I've had on BGA. So from what I played there, I'm really excited to get the physical copy to the table. Not much, I would say nice layers of strategy, but not overly complex, which is something that I like, which means I'll get it to the table. All right, over to this side now. Red Cathedral is a game that's on my shelf right there, but I haven't played it yet, but I know I will love it from what I've seen, playthroughs of it. I'm just waiting a chance to get to the table with a bunch of other games I haven't played yet on my shelf of shame. But I heard this expansion was going to be there. This wasn't one on my list, again, that I wasn't thinking of, that I was, trying to go get, but I heard a lot about it. There was a lot of buzz. People were flying over to the Devere Games booth. But the expansion, Contractors, is one. There we go, upside down. Contractors is one that I wanted to check out. But fans of Red Cathedral, let me know if you've played it with Contractors. Is this something I could just add right away, or should I play the base game first and then add in the expansion? Let me know down below. Is it gonna overcomplicate things? But from what I've seen, I'm excited to check it out. The next one, I'm gonna blame Maggie over at Think Your Themer for this one. This was on your list of games to check out, and I looked into it more after your video, but Dulce, all right, from designer Julio Nazario, who also designed Holy, and I believe that one is from Floodgate Games. Floodgate Games or Flat Out Games, Floodgate Games, all right? But Puerto Rican designer, I had to represent my Boricuas, but this one is a nice little game where you are going to be playing cards, dessert cards, and you can play them two different ways, but players are going to be playing simultaneously from what I understand. But looks like a very beautiful game from what I was hearing of people who did demo it and got a chance to play it. They are enjoying it. I don't think it's going to be too light for me and my family. I think this is one that they will enjoy. The theme, I think, is going to resonate with them. So definitely excited to check this one out. Thank you, Maggie. The next one on my list is from Gigamit Games, but this is over at the Hachette Games booth, and their booth was popping over there. Northgard, Turing Point, but also this one. I believe this one sold out as well, and I was thankful I picked up a copy of this one. From everything I heard about it, this tile laying game, what I've seen, played, Acropolis. All right, Acropolis is one that I'm excited to get to the table. Didn't get a chance to play it yet, but everything I've seen on playthroughs, I'm going to love this game. The idea of stacking and the way you're scoring points, you have these objectives. Each area scores differently. Definitely check this out. I watched the John Gets games on it, but I'm really excited to play that one. You guys know me. I love my Stonemaier games. I'm a big fan of viticulture. So I had to purchase the wine crate, of course, for Viticulture World. So excited to get this. So I pre-ordered this, and then when I got there, this was the only big box game that I was anticipating purchasing. But of course, you see some of the other big box. It would be the next big box. Everything was like semi-big. But yeah, this is the biggest box that I went anticipating spending when I was there. So Viticulture World, excited to get that one cooperatively to the table. Me and my wife both love viticulture. And this one, I'm gonna say a thank you for making me spend the money on this one, Sam over from Lord of the Board. This one is Brazil Imperial. This is one of those 4X games, and I'm not really big or really know much about the 4X genre of games, but from what Sam said, it caught my eye. The artwork was beautiful. I went over to the booth, kind of saw the game on the table, people demoing it. I didn't have time to demo because I was also helping out with the Steep Games booth as well. But man, this one flew. This was, I think, sold out on the day that I purchased it. There was like maybe 5 or 6 copies when I got over to their booth to get this on Friday, I believe, or I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday, but yeah. Definitely pick this one up. From hearing some good things about people who did pick it up and have been playing it. Some people are saying it has a more Euro feel than your typical 4X, which is that right up my alley. All right, I'm a big Euro, right? So gonna very excited to check that one out, and it plays in under 2 hours. So you got me. You sold me there. All right. Those are pretty much the games that I purchased, but I also came back with some games, that publishers were very, fortunate. I was very fortunate for publishers to give me some games to check out. So this was the first stack was what I purchased while I was there, and this is going to be the stuff that publishers had were kind enough to give me so we can check out and review here on the channel. Now the first one wasn't necessarily from a publisher, but Bonita, Kur, and Brain in a Jar Casey, they had an event going on in the BIPOC Lounge, which is a great place to go and just play games. A lot of underrepresented people in the hobby, but just anybody was welcome in this place. So I was going there just to take a break from all the hustle and bustle down in the exhibit hall floor. Just go grab some water. They had some tea. They had some snacks there, but it was just an area that had their own little game library. Huge shout out to the Rose Gauntlet team over there for that. It was great. But they were doing this event where just come play some games, and then they were doing some giveaways. So Bonita, I got there a little bit late, and Bonita and I think Benita and Casey had snuck my name, wrote my name down, and threw it in their little giveaway hat. And my name was selected, so of course I picked up a game for my daughter that was on the table of giveaway games. This is it's Color It from Hobbies Games, and we got a chance to play this one. This is like a little coloring roll and write. So we've had some fun with this as a family. My daughter just likes to color, but yeah, this is a $40.99. But my wife and I had some, very chill time, just sitting there coloring and competing. There is some advanced levels to how you play this game, so this is going to be a fun little family game for us. Also, stopped really quick at the Burnt Island booth, checked out what they had over there. The new Endeavor Deep Sea, we're going to be covering that here on the channel for that Game Found campaign. But they were nice enough to send me home with a copy of their card token racks. All right, so little card racks that you can hold your cards or tokens for games. So really thankful. This is a cool, I think it's like a magnetic lid box. So check this out. So big shout out to the team over at Burnt Island and KTGB, for that one as well. But the next 3 games are from the Hobbies Games booth. Big thanks and shout out to them. Obviously, you've seen on the channel, we've done some playthroughs here with my family and my daughter. Not play through, but we're looking to do more here with that family, type atmosphere and getting my daughter to the table as she learns more games. But this is also from the My Very First Games lineup. This is Forest Friends. This little little peekaboo style game where you're trying to identify the animals. There's a little memory element to this one. We have played this one, and my daughter honestly is like, oh, can we play the My First Orchard game? But she does have fun with this. This is one, honestly, that I want to check out with my nephews and my niece to see how well they like it. My daughter just loves the ones that she loves, but she has had fun. She's peeking through it. Still, I think it's just trying to grasp the concept of what the game mechanics are here. But this is really on the lighter side, just a peek and discover type games. It's almost like I think of almost like a little pop-up book where you're kind of looking through and identifying things. So we have enjoyed that one. This one, I'm hoping to get to the table with her for a little Christmas playthrough with my wife and I. But this is Animal Upon Animal, the Christmas edition, where you're going to be a little dexterity stacking game. I think this is going to be fun just with the family during the holidays, just, enjoying at the Christmas party that we have here at the house, having some little competition, trying to see who can stack their animals the best. But my daughter's starting to get the concept of the little dexterity. She's 3 years old, so this one should be fun to see her grow as she plays it, which is awesome that I'm enjoying with Hobbies Games, where you can take a game, there's an easier rule set and there's a more complicated rule set or a more advanced rule set for kids. So kids can start growing as they play. And again, the good thing about them is play the game as you see fit. House rule it how you want. That way that everybody's enjoying themselves. The next one is a little bit more advanced. Definitely want to check out. This is one of their newer ones. This is Moonlight Castle. Really, really beautiful. You're going to be scoring points trying to get these gems, but there's this little river that's going to be progressively moving, and the tiles are going to be changing and falling off. So definitely, I think this is going to be a nice family game to get to the table with adults, not being serious. But this one should be fun as well. That's a 5 and up. So as she gets older, we'll get a chance to hopefully get that to the table with her soon. But I went over to the AEG Big Game Night. Thank you to Michelle from Second Star to the left. I know I think her husband wasn't able to go to the event with her that night. So she's like, hey, Jazz, I got an extra ticket. My husband Jim's not going to be able to make it. You want to meet up? There's a bunch of other content creators here and people here. So, come through. And AEG, big shout out to you guys. Thank you, because they actually gave us a copy of some games that we played there. One from the designer, Nathan Thornton of Green Team Wins. This is That Old Wallpaper, which is a very, very fun little card game. Got a chance to play this one out, where you're pretty much building, that old school wallpaper on grandma's walls, but you're just trying to match things up to score points. Pretty cool, and players are playing their cards out simultaneously into certain areas to acquire. They have face down. They have a stack of cards, and they're playing their numbers face down, and depending on which card they're trying to acquire, it's in, I think there's like, let's say 1 through 4, depending on the amount of players. You might bid or try to acquire the same card as someone. So you may not get the card that you want to get to add to your tableau and build your little wallpaper out. So therefore you get a wild card, which is not going to score you as many points. But this one was super, super fun. Nathan Thornton, man, Green Team wins this. This is fun. Awesome family stuff. So definitely check out that one. Big shout out again to AEG for hosting that game night. And the other one we were able to walk away with, which is one that I was hearing a lot of buzz about. Never played it. This is Guild of Merchant Explorers. But we sat down, we played this one. This is like a flip and fill or a flip and place where you're I thought it was like more complex than what it was, but man, did I really love this game, where you're trying to, build out routes from your capital city to score points, and you're trying to cover different regions of the board, and you're trying to build more trading posts or whatever the case may be to be able to build out from there. You're going to see some more on this because this is one that's going to be getting a lot of play in my house. Loving what they did with this one. Caught me by complete utter surprise. Now I know what people were talking about when it came to this game, so definitely check out Guild of Merchant Explorers. Also, over at AEG, we got a chance to see what they're coming out in their lineup soon. I got a copy of Wormholes from Peter McPherson, and this one is this little pick up and deliver space theme game. Very, very fun. Got a chance to demo this as well. Really excited to see what this one is with my family and friends, see how they're gonna like this, but I enjoyed this one. Next one on the list is from designer John D. Clare. This is another party style betting game, super fun. I took this past weekend, Ready Set Bet, to that family outing that we were in the Poconos, and man, did we have a blast on night one. Everybody's cheering for the horses that they're trying to race, but pretty much it's pretty cool because even if you're playing, the one who's controlling the horses, rolling all the dice, you have some fun in this, and everybody gets involved. You're shouting out the horses as they're out of their gate, and they're racing down the line, trying to get to that finish line. People are placing their bets and fighting over which bets they're gonna do. Man, super fun, super easy to learn. You can even lessen the difficulty, and there's really not much difficulty, but you can just lessen the cards out and just worry about betting on horses before you start adding other elements to this game. But we had a huge blast with this. I have a couple friends that were like, Jazz, we got to play this one. But yeah, excited. Definitely keep your eye on this one. I think this one's hitting retail in November, so definitely check out Ready Set Bet if you're a fan of betting style games. But if you're just a fan of a good party style game that's going to play a lot of players and have a blast with people shouting at the table, definitely check that one out. Also, the team over at Alley Cat Games were nice over there to hook me up with a copy of Dice Hospital, so I'm very excited to check this one out. We did a Kickstarter preview of the Dice Hospital Emergency Roll, which is a roll and write version kind of Dice Hospital. This is that worker placement or dice placement style game where you're going to be trying to heal and take care of the patients that are coming into the hospital. Heard some great things about this one. Super excited to check this one out. So huge thank you as well to Alley Cat Games for sending me a copy of this, or sending me home with a copy of this one. The next game on my list, I was over at the WizKids booth, and I was there for an event. Was a VIP content creators event, and they gave us a nice little bag of stuff. And actually, one of the games I wanted to go home with, and one of the ones that I was looking to purchase, I think it was sold out by the time I was able to go over there to purchase it. But the game was the Marvel Remix, which is a Fantasy Realms themed game, or base system, but in the Marvel universe. So they didn't have they didn't give the content creators the box of it. They just actually gave us the cards with the rule book for it. So super excited to get this one to the table. Fantasy Realms, Marvel Remix. Definitely love Fantasy Realms. That's another one that we took this past weekend, to the mountains to go play. And I'm excited to check out the Marvel version of that one. Last one on the list, I believe we have it. Shout out to Wise Wizard Games. You guys know I love Star Realms, and we checked this one out as well on the channel. I believe a couple weeks ago. Rise of Empire, which is the new Star Realms Kickstarter that was recently on Kickstarter, but this is their legacy style game. Very fun. If you want to check some more about this, click this link right here and you'll be able to see what I think of this one. But super fun. This is pretty much, if you play Star Realms, you know this has some little twists in there that add that legacy element. But yeah, super big fan of what they're doing with Star Realms and what hopefully is going to be coming down the line as well. But also, hold up, I actually purchased some Ark Nova maps. I forgot. Ark Nova maps. Still haven't even got my copy of Ark Nova to the table, but I heard this was there. This is one of my hotness, my hot 5. Yeah, definitely had to check and come back with that. Of course, I had to pick up some for some friends as well. But the other 2 games that I picked up that were for friends, Terracotta Army, which obviously I don't have, and also Twilight Inscription was another game that I picked up for a friend as well. So I believe that's it. But also, huge shout out to the team over at Sovereignty. Sovereignty is a digital board gaming app that you can play on your phone, you can play on your computer, your tablet. But went over there, Danny from Sovereignty, who is their social media manager, the community manager over there, is like, hey Jazz, you're in the area, make sure you stop by the booth. I got something for you. And they had this nice little trinket bag. In there was a mug with the Sovereignty logo on it, which is on my desk at work. Drink my coffee out of it every day. Very nice mug too. Also, they gave us some tea, all right, which is just a reminder that they are Sovereignty, not Sovereignty, like some people have mispronounced it. But we got some tea. We also got the little Sovereignty man, the Lego mans. Danny is a huge fan of building some Legos, so we got the Sovereignty crown. We got him with a little tea mug if we want to hold some tea in his hand. All right, we can actually change his head. We can make him a little tea head here. All right, the little tea man. We get a little teapot, and we got a little teacup somewhere around here. Probably rolled around. There you go. There goes his mug and his tea kettle. All right, there you go, Mr. Sovereignty. But that was not it. Probably one of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever received within the board game community. Super cool. This is well thought out. But you have this little Lego box here, and when I opened it, I was super surprised with what I saw. But it's me. It's me in Lego form. Even the red Puerto Rico hat as well. It says, it's got the Skull King, little Skull King telescope. All right, but it says little lobby of hobbies up here. Big shout out. Oh, there you go. I'm falling down. All right, big shout out to the team over at Sovereignty. All right, for this little Lego likeness of me. I know this earlier this year. Probably I think just after Christmas, I started building my first couple Lego sets. I got the helmets, the Star Wars helmets. Huge fan of Star Wars. And my brother gifted me some Star Wars helmets, and I've been collecting them little by little, and been building those. But yeah, this has been pretty cool addition to my Lego sets. Thank you, Danny. Thank you to the team over at Sovereignty. But there you have it. That's the GenCon haul. What games here have you played? What games are you excited to check out? Let me know down in the comments below. But we're going to be checking some of these games out, talking to you, letting you know what I think about them. But that's my little oversight into what I've played out of this list so far. But there you have it. Remember, it's all about playing the game, sharing the games that you enjoy with others. Hopefully discover something worth checking out. But hey, this is your first time at the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. That way you can be subscribed and be notified anytime we drop new content here on the channel. But until next time, I'll see you.